Hello. We are
Hello.
live with Verse
Hello.
and Vibe. It's always a nice day when Verse and Vibe days because I shower. So and put on some clean clothes and do my hair. It's
Totally showered today.
Did you shower? Who showered today out there in Facebook land? It's weird to not have anywhere to go, and like some people, you try to keep your healthy habits, and some people are like, well, why wouldn't you shower? Don't you want to be clean if you're sitting at home? But somehow it just escapes you because you don't have to go anywhere, and you don't even have to change your clothes if you didn't feel like it. So it's kind of just funny.
I saw a good
how our habits
meme.
change.
I saw a good one where it was said, tomorrow's garbage day. What am I gonna wear?
Man.
Thanks, Phil. Now coffee everywhere. So if we want to take a minute, we're live now. We can go ahead and share the Facebook post. If you guys want to grab your phones, we'll get our Facebook post shared. And I will try to get rid of the coffee that I just spit everywhere. Awesome. Hi, everyone. If you're just tuning in, welcome to this Sunday afternoon episode of Verse and Vibe. We're here with Will Hanza and Phil Kadet from the band Escaper. You can check them out at their website, which is escaper.com, right? And on their Facebook page. And
Escaper Music.
Escaper Music. I'll put the link in the comments. They're very cool, very trippy. I think you'll dig them a lot. And then if you like piano music, because Phil is extremely talented, he's doing these like piano sittings. Are you doing them randomly, Phil? Or are you doing them every night? What are you?
Oh, no,
how are you?
I'm trying to do them every Monday. Every Monday around 7:30.
So every Monday, 7:30. That's New York time, EST, on his Facebook page. I'll put the link in the comments.
Sure.
You can check out what he's doing. And your wife must be she sings as well because it's gorgeous. So him and his wife are doing this really cool, like loungy thing. You'll dig it in like the spirit of Frank Sinatra and Tony Bennett, and requests are welcome. And then Will, you're doing some things online. You're participating in a lot of online things. What are you going on these days?
Just doing the best I can to make live music via isolation. And live music is going to come back soon with just people around also. You could feeling that, and is the reaction with people immediately is and the community we can have with that is a beautiful thing, and it will come back. For now, we can do this way, and just kind of been diving into that. So I did a Radio Woodstock show this past Thursday, and other venues. It's been nice to see so many musicians really dig into their creativity in new ways through this.
Yeah, for sure. And some of my musician friends have been telling me that what they're really enjoying about the quarantine is that they are getting to see all of their musician friends that they never get to see perform because everyone is always on the road gigging. And so musicians are saying that they've gotten to see more music from their musician friends than they've ever gotten a chance to see before. So I think that's kind of a really special gift that you guys get to now like hear each other and hang out with each other and watch each other differently than maybe you can when the world is regular and everyone's on the road.
Yeah, exactly. It's really true. Often, like, we don't see our musician friends except for maybe at festivals, which of course, that was something we were all looking forward to this season. But because like we're all at the same place, the same time at the same gig. Usually we're just at some other town and doing some other gig somewhere, so you don't see all these folks. This is a way that we're all kind of at the same festival together. It's called Internet.
The Internet, the stay-at-home festival, the creative ways of doing things. So if you're just tuning in, welcome to Verse and Vibe. And we're here today representing the poetry of the great Jim Morrison. Will and Phil will be performing their interpretation of An American Prayer. And then we'll get some Doors sing-along at the end. So again, welcome to Verse and Vibe. We appreciate you tuning in. Again, we're just going to give some people a chance to join the broadcast. Today, we're celebrating Jim Morrison. I don't know if you can see one of my favorite quotes from Jim, which I think is really applicable to what we're all going through now. And it says, "Expose yourself to your deepest fear. After that, fear has no power, and the fear of freedom shrinks and vanishes. You are free. And I think for all of us with feeling that we're not free because, we've had some instructions to have some of what a lot of people would call our civil liberties taken away, I think there's a different way to look at that if we take away the fear of being controlled or whatever, how we're interpreting this, then we're free to just be like, oh, I got to chill at home for a couple weeks so I don't kill a bunch of people. Yeah, I can do that. I can stay home and deal. So speaking of staying home and dealing, today we're celebrating the Lizard King. And a fun bit of trivia is people always wonder where he got that nickname from or who gave it to him. And the truth is he gave it to himself. So Jim Morrison was known for coming up with all sorts of names for himself. And as his music and poetry developed, he had a whole bunch of other nicknames that come into the play. But this particular one, he gave himself because he wanted the media to have some way to recognize him. And because he grew up in New Mexico, he was around all these amphibians all the time. So he talks about how he just called himself the Lizard King one day and it stuck. And then it appeared on one of his albums back in 1968 on Waiting for the Sun. And after that, it just stuck for a long time. So since he used to give himself nicknames, I think all of us should go ahead and in the spirit of Jim Morrison, come up with our own Jim Morrison inspired nicknames for ourselves. So don't necessarily have to think of them now on the cuff, but that's a little challenge for you at home, that if you were Jim Morrison, what would you name yourself? I'm not 100% sure that what I would name myself I could say on the air. We could go from there. So again, we're just going to give some people some chance to join the live broadcast. And I thought, what better way to start an episode about Jim Morrison than one of the greatest moments in Doors history that I'm going to share with all of you. So this is a little 1 or 2 minute clip of Jim singing live, and it's just haunting and beautiful. And I think it'll be a great way to get us in the mood. And then I'll turn it over to the two of you for your performance. So we're going to check out right now what YouTube calls one of the greatest moments in Doors history. So let's check it out, shall we? Oh my God, he's so sexy.
We want the world and we want it now. Right, Mama?
Really?
Now. Night, babe. See the light, babe. Save us. Save us. Save us.
And that's just a nice, yummy clip of the man himself. And speaking of that, we're here now, Verse and Vibe. It is now 2:10. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. And it is my great pleasure and gift to present to you Will and Phil presenting their interpretation of An American Prayer. Stay tuned, tune in, drop out, close your eyes. Oh, speaking of which, before we start, let's take a moment of gratitude and send some love and light out to all of the people that are working behind the scenes, the doctors, the
Yes.
supermarket workers, the warehouse workers. So let's just take a moment of gratitude and let's beam some light and some comfort out there to all of these people that are out there risking their lives every day. And special shout out to Marianne Asta, who, I don't know if you guys are friends with her, but her and her boyfriend are like walking around Manhattan feeding the homeless and giving them gloves. And really, you're seeing all these people step up into this moment. So let's just take a moment of gratitude for everyone that's stepping up for everyone else. And with that, we bring you American Prayer.
Do you know the warm progress under the stars? Do you know that we exist? Have you forgotten the keys to the kingdom? Have you been born yet? And are you alive?
Let's reinvent the gods. All the myths of the ages. Celebrate symbols from deep elder forests. Have you forgotten the lessons of the ancient war?
We need great golden copulations.
The fathers are cackling in the trees of the forest. Our mother is dead in the sea.
Do you know we are being led to slaughter by placid admirals? And that fat, slow generals are getting obscene on young blood.
Do you know we are ruled by TV?
The moon is a dry blood beast. Guerrilla bands are rolling numbers. In the next block of Greenvine, amassing for warfare on innocent herdsmen who are just dying.
O great creator of being, grant us one more hour to perform our art, to perfect our lives.
The moths and atheists are doubly divine and dying. We live, we die,
death not ends it.
Journey we more into the nightmare. Cling to our passion flower. Cling to cunts and cocks of despair.
We got our final vision by Clap. Columbus's groin got filled with green death. I touched her thigh, and death smiled.
We have assembled inside this ancient and insane theater to propagate our lust for life and flee the swarming wisdom of the streets.
The barns are stormed, the windows kept, and one, only one of all the rest to dance and save us with the divine mockery of words.
Music inflames temperament.
When the true king's murderers are allowed to roam free, 1,000 magicians arise in the land.
Where are the feasts we were promised? Where's the wine? The new wine dying on the vine. Hey, Rachel, come back.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, everybody. We're Will and Phil from Escaper, and we're going to do a couple Doors songs coming up. Phil's going to do one first, and I'll do one after that. And hey, Rachel Ann is back. Hi, Rachel Ann.
Hey, Rachel. Thank you very much. Rachel.
Hi, I had to clear the smoke. I had to let the smoke clear before. Hold on a second. Yay! That was awesome. Yeah, I keep saying at the end of every show, wow, I loved that, and that was so great, and I'm totally digging this, and I feel like every episode is like the best episode ever because it really feels that way. They're so unique, not just the words, but the musicians and you two playing together and, really channeling that vibe. I mean, that was good. I can't wait for you guys to watch it. You're totally going to dig it. At least I think it's cool. I think it's really neat and the way you guys interpreted that. And by the way, for everyone watching, this is totally like improv. Like, even though they kind of know the poem and maybe where there's sections that fit in with what they want to do, that is all like just pure talent and connection and vibe and joy. So Phil, Will, thank you guys so much. You totally embodied that for real. The musicians sign up to do this for free because we're a brand new show, but we would love, if you enjoyed that, to send them a drink via their virtual tip jars, which will be in the Facebook comments. But for Will, what is your virtual tip jar?
Buy Escaper music at bandcamp.com. Escaper is the band, and we have a song, Random Excess, that was out. Pre-sales for the new album start May 22nd, but until then, you can go and get Random Excess. That would be my tip. That'd be great.
Yeah, that would be perfect for me as well.
Great. So for everyone, let me grab the link to that right now. Will, I will put it in the comments. So, send them a drink, support their music. Their other music is really, really good. I wonder if you guys should we have some time, so you could play an Escaper song after the Doors song, but just in sticking with the way that the episode goes. Cool. So Will, Jim, what brought you guys to be influenced by the music of the Doors? And, Will, when we had talked about doing this episode and I was like, what do you think of Jim Morrison? And you jumped right in. Can you tell me about like how this appealed to you? And I'd love Phil to hear, tell me about your relationship with the sex.
Sure, I can start. I remember this back in college or so, I guess maybe my sophomore year in college or something like that. I had some friends that I adored, and they're older guys, and they introduced me really to like the Doors. And I remember listening to the end, and I was hanging out with friends, and the part where it's just like really just builds and then breaks apart. Like, it's like I would just go nuts during that part. I would just like roll around on the floor and whatever, and partly just to make my friends laugh, but also because like, wow, you can feel like you can go like real peak, like real just break on through to the other side. You can really get to a place and go, and then it's like a freedom after that. But after it all just blows up and comes back, there's a freedom that comes with that was infectious to me at the beginning and still to this day.
Oh, I mean, when I first heard the Doors, as a kid, they were one of the bands that my mother loved and my father hated. My mother's like, Jim Morrison, he's got like that caramel croon, and my father said, Jim Morrison, he's a juvenile delinquent. and I tend to decide with my mother on that issue. And
Yeah, Mom.
yeah, Mom. And I really, obviously, like the Doors speak to me in a major way as a very keyboard driven band in a lot of ways, like a very present organ feel. Ray Manzarek's licks are, they've just been an influence on me. It's got such a weird interaction of different musicalities. You got kind of like this jazz drumming with this Baroque keyboard playing with this almost Spanish guitar with this like baritone singer who's screaming like, exotic erotic poetry, at the top of his lungs.
Exotic erotic. That's a good
It's
phrase.
a really interesting synthesis, and like a lot of it is driven by the inscrutable words of Jim Morrison, like talking about things that using words that don't really figure into the rock and roll lexicon prior to his integration, and like creating in a similar sense of the way that they created like a sonic world that I've never heard before. He also creates a lexical world that I've never heard before. Crystal ships and waiting for the sun,
Wait, I'm so glad you brought that up because I would have forgotten. So, the universe brings random things around, and at the end of every episode, we all kind of show what's like on our desks at home. I have this Yoda, you guys, you got a globe in the back, I see. But so as we were thinking about this Doors episode, randomly the universe, look at this gorgeous crystal ship that someone brought me.
That is a gorgeous crystal ship.
Like, look at this.
Yeah.
I was like,
I would ride that crystal ship to Valhalla easily.
And so now I'm like, oh my God, that is so freaking cool. Look at this. I was like, someone just literally brought me a crystal ship, and you guys just brought me some fantastic entertainment of, like you said. And by the way, I think Jim would love, Phil, the way you just described his vibe and his music and like the legacy of his life with the way you just described what they built. And that was great. That was really beautiful. So you also have a gifted way with words as well. Some random facts about Jim Morrison can be found at this article that I'm going to share with you guys in the comments. Again, I took some time to curate some things that I think all of us would find interesting about Jim Morrison. So, these are things that are available on the internet, but I did some searching and did some vetting, so we're not reading weird crap together. So this is pretty cool. It got some interesting things that you wouldn't know. Anyway, it was really funny. Some good things here. And let's dive into our little, so we like to end every episode with, Phil, what is your virtual tip jar? Oh, you want them to go to the
yeah. They help us out any way you can in this time where we don't
the
have
music of Escaper on Bandcamp. I'll put the link in the comments.
It's like a little over $1 for a download or whatever you want to pay, but yeah, and it's a nice dancey track, Random Access.
Let me go get it right now while waiting. And you guys are gonna we get the benefit of the sing along, as you know. I like to end every episode with something we can do from at home.
We're both going to play a song. Phil will go first.
Hold on, put this, wait, let me put your link in the comments. One thing at a time. My nickname used to be One Track, which I think is helpful because if you're on
focus is good.
Focused.
You can have an 8-track mind, but
that'd be scary. Could you imagine if there was 8 of me? I know my friends can barely know what to do with one of me, let alone 8. Anyways, this was Verse and Vibe. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're here 1 or 2 times a week with a different pairing of musicians, friends, and pairings. And our next pairing coming up is fantastic. It's Dean Sotilli and Teal Burbridge are going to come on and read something on May 3rd. Which is going to be super dope. They're, really neat. It's a neat relationship. So we're hoping, we do something a little fun, and I'm really excited they're coming on the show. We've got a special Mother's Day episode coming up, and then check back on our Facebook page for new episodes that are being launched every day. We're going to have some international people reading poetry like opera, which I said in my last episode, no one understands that anyway, and they love it. So why not foreign language poetry, You don't know this necessarily,
but Phil's wife is a world-class opera singer.
Yeah, my wife is an opera singer too.
Oh my God, can she? Oh, See, the universe knows exactly what it wants. So I will let you know the date of the next episode where Phil's wife is going to sing an opera or a poem.
Hey,
Is she
Kate.
watching? What's her name?
Kate, she's watching upstairs.
Hi,
right?
Kate, Rachel Ann. I don't know.
Hey, I don't need an agent fee or anything. Just like.
So random. Anyway, so please donate. Come visit us again on Verse and Vibe. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to your neighbors. You know, do the right thing by people. Find yourself a nickname for yourself, and you know, just remember, you know, Jim Morrison believed he could do anything, and so for you guys, remember that you are your own lizard kings, and you can do anything. So don't forget that. And then we're going to turn this over to Will and Phil. We get 2 songs in the sing along. So everyone who's not singing, which would be you and I, Phil, we're going to mute our mics and sing along, but we're going to turn it over to Will, and then Phil will, or whichever order you're going into.
Will, you want me to go first, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go first.
So Phil's going to go first on Verse and Vibe. So sing along, stick around, do whatever, and here we go.
First.
Bring it on, Phil.
Thanks a
Verse
lot,
and Vibe.
Rachel.
Check out Verse and Vibe. They got lots of great shows, lots of great people coming on Verse and Vibe. Thanks, Rachel Ann.
I'm gonna start it off. I'm gonna do a little sing along with "Light My Fire," which I mean, this song needs no introduction. I'm not doing the Jose Feliciano version here.
Oh, damn it!
Sorry, buddy. Sorry. I know we had plans. Anyway, this is "Light My Fire" by The Doors. Robbie Krieger wrote it for the most part, but this is a Ray Manzarek driven song as far as I'm concerned. So here we go. Ready? Feel free to sing along if you know the words. All right. Know that it would be untrue. You know that I would be a lie if I was to say to you, girl, we couldn't get much higher. Come on, baby, light my fire. Come on, baby, light my fire. Try to set the night on fire. Time to hesitate is through. Time to wallow in the mire. China, we can only lose, and our love become a funeral pyre. Come on, baby, light my fire. Come on, baby, light my fire. Try to set the night on fire. Yeah. Time to hesitate is through. The time to wallow in the mire. Trying to we can only lose. Our love become a funeral pyre. Come on, baby, light my fire. Come on, baby, light my fire. Try to set the night on fire. come true. You know that I would be a liar if I was to say to you, girl, we couldn't get much higher. Come on, baby, light my fire. Come on, baby, light my fire. Try to set the night on fire. Try to set the night on fire.
Nice, Phil.
Thanks, guys.
Nice,
Thanks,
Phil.
Thanks. Love that song.
All right,
That-
so
Favorites.
yeah.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
he-
the best air keyboards I have ever played in my life. Just
Oh,
because I out there.
I was watching and you were crushing it. You're crushing those air keyboards.
Oh my God, you guys gave me an idea, Phil. Inspired by you, we could do a Zoom air guitar contest. Like people like go
I love
online and play air guitar back to like one of their favorite musicians who will pop
Totally.
in as a guest. Oh my God, that would be
screen
so
of like
fun.
20 people doing all of it at the same time, just like
Yeah.
Oh my God, we're totally doing that.
I'm down.
I'm
yeah,
down. I'm
that's
down.
a-
Come back for the
that's a
next
really good
episode of
idea.
we'll have to call it the silent. We'll figure it out. So anyway, without further ado, Will, I'm looking forward to playing air guitar with you. We'll try it out right now. Everyone,
All right.
bring your best air guitar for Will right now. Even though it's a song I don't know. See, I knew it would come back to haunt me.
Oh man. Well, this song is called 5 to 1. And it's a song that like earlier iterations of Escaper played, but we hadn't played in a long time. And a few of our friends have been asking for it. So actually, a few of my friends are always asking for something like it. Yeah. And it's an experiment. I haven't ever done this like necessarily before, just solo. I'm going to do a little looping and we'll see what happens. But yeah, 5 to 1.
Can you see how's my?
Oh yeah, you got good form. That's good form. And like the lean back's good.
Everyone at home, I want you to get in your best air guitar. You know, we're gonna do this together.
Rachel, can I see your air guitar face?
Yeah, you got to get it.
Speaking of faces, if you guys want to see something funny, if you've never seen it, go to Google and type in slug guitar faces. So some random person on the internet took all these famous guitar people and it took off their guitar and turned it into like a giant slug. So it's like all these guitars holding like this big giant bug and their faces are it's the great. I might put the link to the comment in that too, actually.
The John Mayer one is
it's
particularly
like
good.
it's freaking priceless. Okay, so either way, I'm ready.
All right.
Okay. Do I have to tune my fake air guitar?
Always.
Does it have to be tuned?
Okay. So yeah, let's see what happens here. Five to 1, baby, 1 in 5. No one here gets out alive. You'll get yours and I'll get mine. Get together one more time, yeah. The old get old and the young get stronger. It may take weeks, it may take longer. They got the guns and we got the numbers. We're gonna win! We're taking over! Come on! Your ballroom days are over, baby. The night becomes the year. Shadows of an evening while you crawl across the years. You walk across the floor with the flower in your hand. You're trying to tell me that no one understands while you trade in your hours for a handful of dimes. We'll get together one more time. We'll get together one more time. We'll get together one more Get together one more time. 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 get together, get together, get together, get together. One more time.
Because you're my friend, Will, I feel dirty.
Oh man, nice
I
glasses
feel in
though.
a whole new light now. Damn, that was super sexy. That was a fantastic interpretation of that song. You
Oh, thank
killed
you.
that. You'd
Oh,
never
thanks.
done that before?
Not just this morning I practiced.
And that just goes to speak to the true talent and creativity of these fantastic artists that came on the show today. Again, they're from this band Escaper, which is awesome. I highly recommend you check them out. The link to their website is in the comments. Well, that was so good. Phil, wasn't that good? You guys should totally do that. That was good, dude.
Oh, thank you. That was
You can
fun.
clip, yeah, you can clip that out and share it with your friends that have been asking for it in case they didn't see
Yeah,
the
right.
show, or
Here.
it's on the Facebook page.
Yeah, awesome.
Actually, you know what? Don't share that with anyone. Let's just leave that for me. You know, later on, my private Jim Morrison interpretation.
Sweet.
Everyone needs that. Their private own Jim Morrison interpretation.
Yes.
I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Verse and Vibe. You guys have anything else we want to share? Remember, please visit their virtual tip jars. The link is in the comments for the tip jar. It's at Bandcamp, so you get a bonus. You get a drink and a song. So you give them a drink, they give you a song. It's a win-win. Also, one of our next episodes is really special. We have Ann Cohen, who is the wife and widow of Alan Cohen, the famous beat poet. She's going to come on with Tom Constantine, who's an old friend of theirs, and you know he was in the Dead, and he's got a really fantastic history. So they're going to come do a special presentation in honor of Alan Cohen, and Anne is going to read some of his poetry, and we're going to get some photos, and it's going to be a really nice episode celebrating the beat poets.
Awesome.
Like I mentioned earlier, we got Oteil coming on. We've got a special episode where we're going to be reading the poetry of the Black Panthers and go through a little history lesson. History lesson. Oh my God, that's a new term. Instead of a history lesson, it's a history listen.
A history listen.
Yeah. So
How about-
tune in next week.
I like that drunk history. So like maybe drunk
Yeah,
history
Phil,
listen.
can you make me a little jingle that goes with that?
I'm sure you could.
For
like
my
right now.
my history listen. All right. Anything else, guys? Otherwise,
I would just want to thank everybody for tuning in and supporting music, live music. This is live, and it's really, you know, we're in a weird state right now, but it's never going away. Since ancient times, human beings have been making music around each other and feeling things, and that's never going away. And I just want to thank everybody for sharing with us today.
Phil?
Oh, yeah. Thanks everybody for coming through. I really appreciate it. It's wonderful to be able to make music and still do this in spite of the fact that like we can't get together. But maybe someday we will be able to get together one more time.
Get together one more time.
Verse and Vibe. Over and everyone, Will, you got to do it too. And then Phil, you got to do it too. And then some of my friends watching, will someone take a screenshot for me? Please? Wait, no, stop for 1 second. Makes a hard picture. Anyone screenshot this for me and message me. Thank you. Verse and Vibe. We love you. We'll see you soon. Tune
Love
in,
you
buy
all.
their music, buy everyone's music. Peace out, everyone.
Thank you.
Mwah. Okay, we're not live anymore.
It says live still on mine.
Oh, we are live. Sorry.